Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you all have had a fantastic day so far. Um, so I'm gonna jump. I was gonna jump right into something, um, but I want to touch. I want to touch on a topic shortly for a moment here. Um, I was asked. I was actually asked yesterday by someone about getting on here and talking. Obviously, the things I talk about, they're not isolated just to me. A lot of people go through similar situations. Of course, when I talk about stuff, um, there's like a flood of people that will talk about, oh my God, it sounds, just I went through something very similar or this, that. And what ends up happening is that the majority of the time, well, these people are afraid to say anything openly. It's not, they don't want to, either they don't want to say anything on their social media, which I can completely understand, because of how it does appear. I mean, we all know about it. You go and you look through social media, and the next thing the next thing you're looking at on there is someone complaining about how their relationship went or whatever, something like that. So a lot of people, they just don't say, they're not open about the things that they've been through, their experiences and stuff like that. So they ask constantly. I get it all the time, and yesterday was very specific about, does it help to talk on here? And my answer is 100% absolutely yes. For me, as I explained, that this started largely as a therapeutic effort for myself. Just I choose a lot of times to be alone, which I think is healthy and can be unhealthy. Because I'm also a very social type person. I do enjoy being around other people. But I believe that as an individual who has the capability, it makes you better if you are capable of being alone. And I actually and I like it. I enjoy it quite a bit. That's actually something I'll talk about here in a minute too. But my burps. I'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, yes, absolutely. Getting on here does help. And I'll say that back in like 2018, I did a couple years of therapy, which was fantastic. I loved it. I actually went twice a week. The therapist, only when I originally went in to speak with her, she only asked about going once a week, and I was like, can I come twice a week? And it's just for an hour, and we would just set times. And the thing about doing that, when you go to therapy, it's not a quick fix, first of all. And if you got a lot going on in your life, there's a lot to unpackage. And if you're going once a week or you're going once a month, you got to think about all the shit happened between the therapy sessions, and you're still working on stuff from the past. You're still working on, old things. And so it takes fucking forever for you to catch up, because mostly what you do is you sit in there and talk to the therapist. And one of the greatest things about being in therapy is you inevitably, like, just the nature of the people there, it's almost like talking to your grandma all the time. And it's not to say that they're all old ladies. It's just the fact that when it's the comfort, that's the way it feels when you're in there talking in therapy, is that you're talking to someone like your grandma, that you can just put everything out there and they're going to listen, and they're going to usually give little pieces of sage advice that might, sometimes they're going to help, sometimes it's not going to make sense, sometimes it takes a little bit more effort. So, I recommend it for everybody. I think it's fucking fantastic. There's a lot of people out there that have this opinion that, first off, therapy is for the weak. No, it's not. Therapy is a good thing, because it's, like I said, it's a non-connected person who can kind of look at everything and evaluate everything you're saying independently, and really give you some good information, some good feedback. It's really fucking awesome. and I'm not weak. So, but yes, doing this is very therapeutic for me. Everything that I've been through in the past couple years has almost shrunk to nothing after getting on here. Obviously, like, for example, Sunday, got on here, talked, and it was like the moment I got out for like 45 minutes, all it took was like 45 minutes. The moment I got everything out, it was like it was all gone. It was like the stress and the weight of the whole thing, and it was gone. Now, it doesn't mean that all the thought, that there was no like emotion or anything there, but it was like the heaviness of the situation felt like it was gone. Just kind of like dispersed it. So it felt, so yes, this is a fantastic medium. I understand a lot of people have a hard time getting in front of a camera and talking, let alone just even expressing to, anyone that, how they're feeling and what they're going through and their thoughts. But at some point it becomes, it's like there's information that's already known. So you're not just going back over it over and over and over again. So it is fantastic. I absolutely love this. But anyway, the other thing I was talking about. So I have an old friend who went to school with her, and of course I get critiques from many people about my shows. Not bad. I mean, nothing that, and of course, even if it was bad, if it was a criticism or anything like that, I would take it with, with complete, humility and be like, okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. But a lot of times the number one thing that I get from people that I know, about my shows is they talk about my burps. Literally, and for me, for me, it's not. It's completely involuntary. It's not like I go and I'm burping on purpose or anything like that. But it is me, and I could choose. I could consciously try not to burp while I'm on, on here doing this. But in reality, that's not being true to who I am. Yes, I'm very generally a very polite, considerate person, things like that. But in reality, I'm just kind of a quirky nerd, and I burp and I fart, and I'm a guy, and I don't know. I think I'm like the way I feel is like the prototypical kind of guy where if you had to think about the stupid shit that a guy does, that's me. I mean, that's just who I am. It's how I've always felt. And that's why I have the Twitter thing and the post that I put up there on Facebook and Instagram. It says, "Your idiot boyfriend." The way that came about was just, I have these thoughts, and I've always written. I've always been a writer. But the things that come to my head, it's almost as if they came through in these short little snippets, the way I write things out, almost in meme form. But these are legitimate thoughts that I have, that I know as a guy, I have these thoughts, but most guys, A, are too afraid to say anything about it, or B, don't know how to express it. In a clear, kind of concise way. And so I it's called Your Idiot Boyfriend, the, my Twitter, be simply for the fact that these are things that I think most guys think of and say and do that they would be looked at like by their girlfriends or their, if they were married, of course, but by their girlfriends, they just look at them like, oh, don't worry about him. That's just my idiot boyfriend over there. He just, stuff like that. I think any woman watching this can kind of relate that they've, if you're in a relationship, you've been in a relationship with a guy who says or does, they're not offensive, like bad things. They're just like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing that again. that's kind of the thought process behind it. And that's just how my brain works. Literally, but it's also kind of true stuff. And I'm not fucking exaggerating. I put something up there today. I literally went in, I was up early this morning. I was working, and I got about halfway through my cup of coffee, and I needed to go to the bathroom. So I'd been sitting down at my desk. Well, I get up and I walk across the house to go into the bathroom, and I sit down on the toilet. Literally, I've been sitting down for like 5 seconds, and my watch comes up and says that it's time to stand up. I'm like, God damn it. I literally just fucking walked across the house, and I just put my pants in my ankles, and I just sat down at the toilet, and I was like, oh my God, like this is my fucking life. I know this sounds stupid, but it's like, God, technology and all this other stuff. Because I'll get a notification on my watch that'll tell me time to stand up, and I'll get up and I'll walk into my kitchen or something like that. And by the time I'm getting to my kitchen, it says, "Hey, good job, you accomplished it." And so I just thought it was fucking funny, and I don't have anybody to sit really and talk to and share those kinds of things with, so I just type it out, put it out to the world, I've got my group of friends, but shit, they get enough from me all day long. I got one of them that actually left the big chat group because I was fucking with him so hard. He removed himself from the chat group today. Poor guy. He's a great guy. He's my buddy. I just love fucking with him. He's easy to mess with. And he's not upset or anything like that. His feelings weren't hurt. I'll have him on here eventually, and he'll cry wolf and say his fucking feelings were hurt, but I don't really think he has any. But anyway, yeah, he left the chat group today because I was fucking with him so much. He drives a Prius. So he's also got a King Ranch truck, but he drives a fucking Prius, and so I fuck with him about it all the time. Anyway, well, like he sent us a picture today. He sent a picture of his Prius. He filled up his Prius today and put $20 in there, and it said, and he told us that, and it said 600 miles to empty. And he's like, oh, look at this, $20 fill up. And, and I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, I'm totally cool with putting $40 in my Corvette. And getting 400 miles to the gallon in my Corvette. Totally fine with it. Because it's still a Corvette, not a Prius. But I actually said worse shit to him than that. Just to fuck with him. But anyway, point being is that I get like the number one critique. I mean, I get it from a lot of people. My friend Daisy, she laughs at me every fucking show, and she texts me and makes comments about it. My friend Jillian, she messages me, about it. Actually, she messaged me last night, and her comment was, manners maketh the man. And of course, I've known these women since high school, and I've seen them several times. I mean, Daisy quite a bit since I graduated, over the last 22 years. Jillian a couple different times. Most recently, I think last time we hung out, I think was 2019, late 2019. Anyway, yeah, she says manners maketh the man. And of course, like I said, they know that I'm a polite, considerate, nice guy. I open doors. I could say this, I've never dated a woman, never one time dated a woman where she ever opened a single door for herself. If they were getting in my vehicle, I open up the vehicle for them to get in. If they were going to drive, I would make sure I would walk them over, open up the driver's side door and get in. Doors to buildings, all the other shit, doors in the house, all that stuff. That's just how I've always been. So it's not, they're teasing me, but I told Jillian last night, I said, yeah, I'm really just setting the bar super low, so that someone is actually like pleasantly surprised when they do meet me, that I'm not just some fucking, heathen. So that's why. But so anyway, I think about that every time I burp, and that's why I giggle. At the same time, like, I could be sitting over at Fred and Samantha's house, and we're on the patio, whatever, and literally, we're almost 40 years old, and one of us will fart at some point. And we, like, it doesn't matter if I do it, like Fred looks right at me and we just start fucking giggling like little children. And if Fred does it, it's the same exact way. And Samantha looks right at us and thinks that, God, you guys are fucking idiots. You guys are like 12 years old. But to us, I mean, I don't care who you are as a man. That shit's funny. I don't care. It's bodily functions as a man are fucking hilarious. I will tell you, I went back and rewatched like all the Jackass movies over the past like 4 days, and fuck, they're funny. Like, I'm just sitting there laughing. I mean, the guys are getting hit in the nuts nonstop, and they're, as I'm talking about. But like they're getting hit, in the ass. I like the best one is Jackass 3D, where they have a fucking dildo cannon, and they're fucking shooting these like they're shooting dildos at each other with fucking compressed air, and they're coming across high speed, and they're hitting them, and they've got this ultra slow motion. It was actually the most expensive camera ever made at the time, and they used it for Jackass. Ultra slow motion camera that could film in 3D. I forget what the name of this camera was, but you would just see these guys get hit in the fucking face with these massive fucking dildos, and they're just fucking, and it just hits them. Oh my God. And so it's all right. So look for a guy, and I'm just sitting there like this. I'm just even thinking about it, not even watching it on TV, and I'm fucking laughing. I crack up so hard. And some of it's obviously super disgusting because, there is like shit and, Steve-O doing different things. And anyway, for a guy, it's funny. Bodily functions are funny. The fact that we are guys, it's kind of like the fact that, hey, one of the greatest thing about being a guy is we can pee outside. We also, if a girl, hey, I didn't create the rules. Y'all are the ones sticking to it. But if a girl burps or farts, she's probably going to get embarrassed and people are going to judge her. If a guy does it, they just kind of dismiss it. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And I'm not sorry about it. Y'all are the one that, I don't give a shit. I don't want to know about your poop. But if y'all are going to fart or you're going to burp, I've been around plenty of women that burped and shit. That doesn't bother me one bit. I think it's fucking hilarious. Be you. But to a guy, that stuff's funny. And it happens. These are natural bodily functions. And I think they're fucking hilarious. And so I make zero effort to hold them back. If they happen, there's no effort there. But if they happen, so be it. So anyway, so what I intended had to come on here and talk about was I'd put a thing out on Facebook, personal page, Instagram, personal page, jason.husk on Instagram. And what I put out there was, what should I talk about on the show? And literally the number one thing that came back from I mean, of course I got lots of different suggestions, but the number one thing that came back was talk about your workouts. Now, look, I post videos and shit like that on my stories. And what you guys typically see is like the heavy lifts and stuff like that. Honestly, because they're easy to video. Because there's kind of like a defined space, and I can just kind of set up my camera and videotape record the they'll lift. So it's a lot of times it's, deadlifts or squats or whatever. So I post videos. But what I will say, so anyway, the number one thing that was asked that I discuss and actually take, and put on a show was my workouts. I will back up to tell you that the number one reason that I work out is to be able to eat what I want. I don't want to have to fucking worry about the food that I put in my body. I like to eat. I like to eat all kinds of stuff. Okay. Sorry. That was probably a bit immature, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, I like to eat, and so I'm going to experience all kinds of food, and I'm not going to hold back. And that's the number one reason I work out. The number two reason that I work out, and this will sound bad, but it's to look good naked. And I don't mean that so that I can be admired or whatever. No, it's not that. You're going to get out of bed in the morning. I sleep in my underwear. I'm going to get out of bed in the morning, and I pass by like 3 mirrors on the way to the bathroom to go pee. And, I'm going to end up looking at myself at one point. And if I look fat and sloppy and everything, I'm going to be upset. But like if I walk by and I look good, I feel good, it's going to start my day on a fucking positive note. And I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, I look good. I like that. So it's purely for me. It's not for any other reason. It's literally, and it's not so that I'm standing there naked for somebody else. It's literally for me. It makes me feel good. It starts my day off proper, on a positive note. It shows the fruits of my labor. While I'm standing there in my Fruit of Looms. No, I don't actually own those. Nike and Adidas underwear. But anyway, so those are really the only two reasons I work out. Nothing else really matters to me. I have zero intention on competing. It's not about powerlifting. I set my own personal goals and I just kind of go with it. At 40 years old, I'm not looking to be the biggest guy in the world, and I'm certainly not looking to be the fucking strongest in the world. Because number one, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, and that'd be pretty fucking hard for me to be that strong not being the biggest guy. But, so to give an idea, I guess on that back up, to this month, we're actually doing Sober October. I did fail. We had a hookah the other night. We weren't supposed to be having one. I was stressed out. Went over to Fred's house, ended up smoking a hookah. I took the hit on that one. That's my fault. So we smoked a hookah, but I did incorporate certain things into my workout routine that was a little bit different. So I will say that normally I'm 5'9" tall. In shoes, I'm like around 5'10". I am 5'9" flat foot. Like my weight over the past probably 4 to 6 months has probably fluctuated right between 200 and 202 pounds. It stays right there. I will say that I've incorporated a couple different things that I'll talk about into my routine, my workout, my daily exercises, and I'm actually down to 195. I'm staying right between 195 and 197. So I'll say that it really is not that fucking hard if you want to lose weight, depending on what you're doing. You can go even further if you change your diet, which I'm fucking not. I'm going to eat as much as I want to. That's just... I got stuck. But I'm not going to change my diet. I'm just going to eat, enjoy my life in that way, and I'm going to be fine. So what I will say is that what I used to do is, and this kind of caused me to plateau, is I would actually do kind of your standard workout. I would pick one body part and just do that body part per day. So but I would typically do it on the same day every week. So Monday was chest day, Tuesday was back day, Wednesday was biceps and triceps. Then we would skip Thursday, and Friday we would do shoulders, and Saturdays would be leg day. Well, the problem that I found with that is, number one, that your body gets used to that, and I did that for almost 2 years. First off, again, being 39, I'm almost just a couple months from being 40. I really did not start lifting like consistently until I was like 34 years old. I lifted when I was younger, but nothing like I do now. So about like 34 years old, being consistently in the gym, lifting all the time is when I started lifting. So my body got used to that. And so what I started to do is I started just doing random days. A lot of people will work out multiple body parts. I personally don't do that. For me, it feels too erratic. I like the mental aspect of working out, where it takes the concentration and it takes the effort. Because I am a very competitive person, I do challenge myself as I go, making sure that I'm either I'm doing it as heavy a weight as I can manage, or I'm doing the perfect form possible, or I'm going for a higher rep count. It just varies. So there's a lot of different options there. It's not like you just walk into the gym, decide you're going to do bench press, and you just start doing bench press. There's about 7 to 10 different variations that you can do on every single exercise. I mean, you can change the form of your back. You can change the grip of your hands. You can either come all the way around, or you can do what's called suicide grip, where the bar just sits right here across your hands, or around the palm of your hand. You're just holding that up. You can go, in, out, wider, more narrow. That'll hit different parts of your chest or even triceps. When you lower the bar down, you can come, closer to your chin, further down below. You can even go as far as reverse grip and reversing your hands and reverse grip bench press. So there's a lot of different variations. So it's not just going in there and picking up the bar and fucking lifting. But that's not how you start, obviously. You kind of got to start doing it, and then you can start doing some of these things. And of course, you change rep counts, different amounts of sets. You change the weights back and forth. It's, to me, again, it's that I enjoy. So you just kind of have to get into it and figure out what your goal is. I think that's probably the most important thing for everybody to start with, is what is your goal? Determine your goal when you go to the gym. Figure out what it is you want out of this. Again, my goal is to be able to eat whatever the fuck I want to eat. Then, obviously, looking good naked. But then the other stuff, those are byproducts. Getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster, feeling good, sleeping well. Those are byproducts of it. But those shouldn't be your goal. Like getting big, yeah, I guess it could be your goal, but if you're at my age, it should be probably more about, staying healthy, being able to function. When I was younger, my goal was to be able to, dominate my children. I want to make sure that I could enjoy my kids' lives, stuff like that. Now I'm not so worried about that because I know I can. So it's not so much of a problem now. But working out, it's different for everybody. I go to the gym and I see guys that they're my height, but they're 30 or 40 pounds lighter, and they like being there because they like the faster, higher tempo workouts. They usually do what's called HIIT exercises, and they mainly work out 3 to 4 times a week, and that's cool. The thing that we'll see is that our body fat percentages probably aren't very different. We probably have very similar body fat percentages. I just have a shitload more muscle because of the exercises that I do. So again, you kind of start with your process or what your goal is. And then you have to know your body. I know that my body, growing up in speed skating, I know that my body, I was built for speed and power. Low, fast, powerful. That's who I am. That's how I've always been. So I know that I'm going to focus more on powerful moves, powerful exercises, and and I want to be functional. I like to be functional. I don't think that, could I work myself up to being able to deadlift like 700 or 800 pounds? Absolutely. Is it functional? Fuck no. Can I do anything I need to in my life right now? Is it hard for me to move anything in my life if I need to move a refrigerator or a washer and dryer or a bed or anything? No. Is me being able to deadlift 700 pounds or 800 pounds going to make any of that any better? I might be able to move it a little bit easier, but I'm not going to, the next step is what? I'm going to go pick up the rear end of a golf cart or the rear end of a vehicle? Fuck no. So what's the goal for that? I want to be functional. I have a hard enough time like scratching as I am right now with the function out with my, joints and everything, like scratching my fucking neck, or reaching, my back or something like that. That's hard enough as it is. I get, why the fuck would I want to get much bigger? So again, you kind of look at your goal, you look at your body type, what you're capable of, and you work from there. I know that, to me, it sounds easy because I know my body very well. I was an athlete, and so I know what to do for my body. If you don't know that, there's 1,000 people out there that can help, and you don't want to listen to every fucking person out there, but somebody that can evaluate you, look at your body, see the way you move, see your joints, how you flex, how can you squat, can you touch your toes, things like that, simple stuff. Can you do one pull up? Can you do a squat? Can you sit Indian style? How far can you pivot your hips and things like that? Somebody can look at you and kind of evaluate what what you should start with to work on. So anyway, I for like I said, for like 2 years, what I would do is I was doing pretty much the same workout on a regular basis. And I ended up downloading this app on my phone called Fitbod. Now, what Fitbod is, it's a tracker that literally, what it'll do is I can go in and you can set a workout. You can pick a body part. Well, fuck, let's start from the very beginning of it. You go and put all your vitals in there, male, female, age, height, your weight. Then you go to your goal. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to tone up? Do you want to powerlifting? Do you want bodybuilding? There's another one. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. Anyway, you set that. Then you can set your gym equipment's like. Do you work out from home? And so what kind of equipment do you have there? Do you have some kettlebells and some dumbbells, or do you go to a commercial gym where you've got everything? And you can change these things in your workout on this app, and it'll generate these workouts. But then when you go, you can actually select the body part. And there's actually a couple different options. You can tell it that it recommend what body part you should work on simply based on how many days of rest you've had, or based on its percentage. Say you have a threshold, like your arms are 50% recovered. Will it recommend for you to do your biceps or triceps? I kind of randomize my days. So I already know. Like yesterday I did, my body part was biceps and triceps. Today I will probably I did back, I think, on Tuesday. So today I will probably do shoulders. No, I apologize. I did chest on Tuesday. I did back on Monday. So I'll do shoulders. I'll do shoulders today. And in this app, you can create your workout, and you can tell it you only want to do shoulder exercises, and it'll build a workout for you. It'll tell you, what exercise to do. Plus it'll tell you how many sets you're going to do, or how many reps you're going to do, and the rest in between sets. It actually will time your rest and everything, so you can track everything. What I do is I change up a lot. So I will pick the body part I want to do that day. I typically don't go off of the recommendation from the app. I will pick one body part that I want to do, and I will build the exercises that I want to do for that day. and then I'll pick all my rep and set counts and all the other stuff. So what I started to do is, because I was getting kind of into this funk where for 2 years I did the same exact, pretty much the same body part on the same day: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was the same fucking body part every single day, every day of the week. So then what I started doing was, I'll just fast forward to about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. What I started doing was randomizing the days that I would do the body parts. So instead of doing like chest on a Monday, I might do it on a Tuesday, or I might do it on a Thursday, or a Friday, or a Saturday. Just kind of what I felt like doing. And then I would rotate the body parts in. And again, it was just based on how my body felt that day, what body part I wanted to work. Obviously, knowing certain things can't be worked back to back because you use a lot of them. For example, I did arms yesterday, biceps and triceps. I wouldn't want to turn around and do chest today, simply for the fact that when you do a lot of chest exercises, a lot of push chest exercises, it uses your triceps. Well, my triceps are going to be fucking worn out. So the thing about getting older too is you get lots of fucking hair. Get hair in my nose. So anyway, so I randomized the days. I started randomizing the days that which I do the workouts. Again, the great thing about Fitbod is it logs everything, and it creates a cloud storage of all your exercises. So if you want to go back, and I have like 800 days. I have 800 separate days logged in of exercises into this Fitbod app. So if you look at, even if I've taken off days, that's like 3 to 4 years worth of routines in this app that I've logged. And what I'll do is, if I'm not sure, I can go back and look at 2 days ago, 3 days ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, what I did. And I can look at to see that body part, what I did there. And so that's what I started to do. And then again, I started kind of feeling like I was plateauing. And the reason for that was because I do enjoy going into the gym, and I enjoy the escape. I like music, and so I like putting on my headphones, my AirPods, and I will just listen. And when I'm in the gym, I'm kind of obnoxious. I'm not a grunter, and I'm not a guy that's going to throw the weights everywhere. I do drop the weights from time to time because they're just that too fucking heavy. But I'll just tell you what I do is I'm head banging. I'm just banging my head the whole fucking time. I'm jamming. I'm listening to music. I'm singing. I'm growling. I'm having a good time. I enjoy it. It lets off so much fucking steam, and the fact that I'm doing that, and I know there's people there. First off, really don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. But at the same time, it is kind of like freeing to act like that in public and not care. I just say it's a release. So going to the gym, what would happen is I would stay there for like 2 hours every fucking day. And I was doing like 8 to 10 exercises per body part. And so I was getting really, 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 really burnt out. So what I started to do was that I would always find that the day I went the hardest, I would be there for almost 3 hours on Saturdays working out my legs. I don't skip leg day. Like, I love working out my legs. I do all different types of exercises for my lower body. I really enjoy it. But I know that working my lower body for a man, what it does, actually it does it for a woman too. It increases your testosterone. And for a man, that's obviously a good thing. Women, you have a certain amount of testosterone, and it does help you to have a little bit higher levels of testosterone. No, is it going to give you a deep voice, or is it going to make you break out, or are you going to look like a dude? No. A lot of times it helps with hormone balance. You don't like having you don't necessarily want to take, say, birth control or something like that. You can actually take testosterone, get some pellets, and that helps women. I'm not a doctor, consult a doctor, but I know working out my legs, my legs and your legs are the largest muscle group in your body. So when you work them, it increases blood flow, it increases testosterone. And when those get stronger, when your legs get stronger, the rest of your body gets stronger too, because it affects it. You go to do a deadlift, it's not just your legs. You actually have to use your shoulders and your biceps, your triceps, your forearm, your grip, your wrists. You've got to use your lats. You've got to use your lower back, your traps. You use like 90% of the muscles in your body when you do a deadlift. And so, but the biggest contributor obviously is your legs and your lower back. So you end up working these body parts, but when your legs get stronger, think about it. If your legs are strong enough to help you lift 500 pounds, then it means the rest of your body got strong as well. So, obviously your legs may be strong enough to lift 500 pounds, but if you can't physically hold on to the bar, you got to strengthen that. So it does help. Working out your legs helps the rest of your body. That's why I laugh at a lot of guys. They're big. They got big shoulders. They got big arms, but they got these little fucking twig legs. And you never see them in the gym doing legs. I do legs all the fucking time. And I can, wearing my shorts, I get the biggest shorts that I can wear that don't fall off me, and they're still too fucking tight on my legs. Because I work them. So what I noticed, what I started to do, because I was getting burnt out, my longest days were my leg days. And I would just go fucking hard, and then I'd be exhausted, and I wouldn't want to do anything on Sunday. And, come Monday, I'm still kind of sore. And this was every week. So what I started to do in my workouts, and why you see videos posted almost every day of some kind of, leg workout, deadlift, squat, front squat, back squat, something like that. The reason you see that is because now what I do is I do pick one body part, but I also on days I also alternate between quadricep exercises and hamstring exercises. So front leg or back leg. And what I'll do is I do one exercise. So like yesterday I did biceps and triceps as my main workout, but I did deadlifts prior to that. I did 8 sets of deadlift. I always do between 6 and 8 sets of the leg exercise. So like yesterday I did deadlift, did 8 sets of deadlift. And then I did 4 bicep exercises and 5 tricep exercises. Yes, it was a long workout. It was almost 2 hours, but that's a lot of fucking reps. I think volume, you can track that. I can track that. The volume of all that in the Fitbot app was about 58,000 pounds total volume of actual weight moved. So kind of cool. You can track it that way as well. So anyway, I noticed for myself at least, because again, the way my body is for low, powerful movements, I'm very efficient when it comes to things like squat and deadlift. My body just functions very well with that. So I would, so starting out doing these exercises like this, I've actually noticed like a 10 to 15% increase in overall strength on all exercises across the board. And I'm talking about not only my leg exercises, but also my other body parts. Because of the way I'm spreading it out. Again, I start the exercise by doing some type of leg exercise. Well, God, that's already got the blood flowing in my body. That's got the testosterone flowing in my body. That flows to the rest of my body. So if I get my legs going and I do my squats on my leg day, and then I go do chest, well, that extra blood is flowing through, and it actually helps increase your strength and your stamina. And then obviously it helps grow size and strength. So I have found, so anyway, what I currently do is I do some type of lower body exercise. And I rotate all of them, but I do a lot of I go for a lot of the complex movements: the deadlift, the squat, the front squat. You got to do those. 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 But I'll also use the machine. I'll do a lying, it's called a lying leg curl. Lay on your stomach and your legs come up and you're bringing them back and forth like this, kind of like bringing them up. You're working your hamstrings in the back. I also do a seated leg curl where you're seated and your legs are on like a pad and you're bringing them down. That's working your hamstrings as well. I'll do leg extensions. I prefer a single leg extension, but all they have at the gym that I go to right now is double leg extension. Most people, that's what they've got, is these double leg extension machines, which is just one pad. But I'll also do dumbbell leg curls, things like that. I'll do hip thrusters. I'll do hack squat. I'll do leg press. Pretty much anything you can get your leg to do your legs, I'll rotate these around. But I always once a week, I'll hit some type of squat and I'll hit some type of deadlift. But I had to catch myself. I was going super fucking heavy every time I did it. So like yesterday, I did 8 sets, but I only went up to 405 pounds, where I would normally go up to about 495. Usually on like sets 6, 7, and 8, I would be at like 465 and 495 and 505 or 510 pounds doing deadlifts. And what that's doing is actually just burning out my body. It's being counterproductive. So what I've started to do is this past 2 weeks is I'm still going heavy weight, usually between 70 and 80% of my max, but doing more reps. That's going to build up stamina. That's going to build up strength. So doing it that way. So, I could go on and on and on, and I could give you guys different kinds of, recommendations and techniques and how to hold the bar and what kind of grips to use and how to do this when you're doing a pull-up and how to do this when you're doing a dip and how to do this when you're doing a curl. I mean, there's like 3 different ways to do, there's more than 3 different ways to do a curl. But I mean, if we just think about it with the dumbbell, say if you're standing there with a dumbbell in your hand, and say you got a 20-pound dumbbell in each hand, okay? You can hold them like this, where you're gripped around them completely. Or you can hold them where your thumbs are out and you're not holding it with your thumb wrapped around it. You're not holding it that way. When you curl it in, you can curl it straight this way, up and down. When you curl it in, you can turn it out to where the bottom of the weight kind of comes towards your face. That's called a no money curl. You can do it that way. You can do the grip differently with it. You can do half curls. You can do lower half curls. You can do where sometimes it's like 7, 7, 7, where you do 7 half down below, 7 half up here, then 7 full. And then there's also the hammer curl, where you're holding the weight like this and you're bringing it up this way, or you're bringing it inward, bringing stuff like that. When I do those exercises, just if you're looking at, say, on a dumbbell exercise, I may warm up doing dumbbells. I may do 6 sets. And what I'll do is I'll do like 20-pound dumbbells, and I'll do 20 reps per arm. And the way I'll start is I'll literally do like 10 on this arm, then 10 on this arm, then I'll do 10 on this arm, then I'll do 5 on this arm. And then I'll rest for like 30 seconds. I'll do another 20 reps. But what I'll do is I'll do 1, 1, 1, 1, and I'll do that to 10, and then the last 10, I'll do them together, curl them together. So then when I go and I say I pick up a 45 or a 50-pound dumbbell, I may do different types of counts. I may do 1 and 1 this way. I may do where I'm turning it out here and here. I may bring them in. I may do a curl here and then inward, like a dumbbell, like a regular curl, and then bring it in, and same on the other arm. There's a lot of different variations that you can literally do on every fucking exercise. So I could go down this road forever with the different stuff that can be done. The ones that you're not going to change traditionally is going to be your squats and it's going to be like your deadlift. You're not going to go heavy weights and change your form and technique when you do that stuff. You'll see people that go and do, like, say they do a squat, and they'll put like some weights on the platform, and they'll put their heels on that platform or on top of that weight, and they'll squat down. You're never going to go super fucking heavy weight with that. You're not going to do that. Because they'll throw you off completely. So the things like I said, the squats and the deadlift, you're not really changing how you're doing it. You're not changing how you're holding the bar. You're not changing how your stance is. You're traditionally doing it very, very similar, because you can get hurt very easily doing those exercises. So you want to be consistent with them. But anyway, like I said, I can go down the fucking road. I can go down a rabbit hole with you guys and talk about this shit forever. But maybe another show, I'll talk about some other stuff. So, but that's it for now. Talk quite a bit about my exercises, my routines, if you will. So, that's all I got for y'all today. I mean, like I said, I could go on forever, but guys, got to go. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Yesterday was kind of a big day for a couple different reasons. Today was kind of a pretty cool day, odd day for me. Something happened that I kind of came out of the blue. Wasn't expecting it. Kind of caught me off guard. So I decided I'm not going to go into detail about it, but I decided to kind of let my guard down a little bit on something, and was kind of surprised. So anyway, great day yesterday, today. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate everything. Thank you guys always for reaching out. I always try to communicate and respond to everybody. I may not get to everybody all the time, but I do try to respond as soon as possible, as best as possible. And I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate everybody reaching out. I really, really do. You guys are awesome. And I thank you guys for everything you do for me. And thank you for letting me know that in some way what I do here helps you. So I appreciate it. Thank you all so very much. And I will talk to y'all very, very soon. Bye.